Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? This fine Thursday morning here. Had 2 more days to close out this week strong. So we're kind of looking at doing just that. We want to close out this week strong. All right, this morning, the one thing that I want to emphasize to everybody is, we have to take responsibility for our trading, for whatever happens. If we lose on a trade, we have to take responsibility, because successful people don't make excuses. They just make up. There's 100 excuses I could use every day as to why the trade that I took didn't work, or why I got stopped out, or whatever. But the reality is, I can't move to the next level until I take responsibility. Because even though there are elements in this that we can't control, there are elements that we can control. We control whether we take a trade or not. We control how we manage it, regardless of the circumstances. We are in control. If we don't understand that it's our responsibility and that we have full control over it, we're not going to get to the next level. And that's what it's all about, getting to the next level. I feel that I'm a good trader, but in order for me to get to great, I've got to take the responsibility. Every time something doesn't go quite right, there's a responsibility that I have to myself and to the people I help to figure out, how to deal with that situation. Because we're in control of our dreams and our destinies, nobody else. And if we are allowing somebody else to be in control of that, we need to take that control back. Because in the end, the only person you're going to have to answer to is you. When it all boils down to it, once you filter through everything, the person that you have to answer to is you. So, when you mess up, clean it up. It's just that simple. Don't wallow in it. Don't talk about it. Don't try to figure out who you can blame for it. Just wipe it up and start all over again. Because the thing is, you may not be able to see it, and we talked about this before. The end of the road may be just around the corner, but you got to turn that corner. And these are things that you're going to have to do in order to turn that corner. If you've been trading 5 or 6 months and you haven't seen any positive results, you have to take responsibility for that. You have to sit down at night and figure out, hey, what am I doing wrong? Where am I missing the boat? What can I do to make myself better? Because you think about it, an oil tanker, one of those big oil tankers, I know they've been in the news lately. We've been kind of paying attention to that. Those things can't turn on a dime. It takes a while for that thing to turn. If it's going to turn all the way around, it's going to take a while for it to turn around. And we're kind of the same way. We're not going to be able to see results overnight. But over a period of time, when we start making that turn and we start taking responsibility for what we do, we're going to start seeing the light at the end of the road, on the other end of the road. You know, now we're running in the darkness. When we make that turn and we start to get around, and we'll start seeing the light at the end of that road. And when you do, that's going to be even more motivation to continue moving down this road. So if you don't do anything else, start taking responsibility for your trades, your good trades, but more importantly, take responsibility for your bad trades. Because one thing that I try to demonstrate every day, you know, if I have a bad trade or the trade doesn't work, it just doesn't work. You know, I had problems early this week with my buying power not updating, but I didn't blame, you know, I didn't use that as an excuse. You know, I did what I had to do to fix it so I could move forward. And I'm not crying about it. I don't worry about it. I moved forward and I moved away from that. You know, the next day, Tuesday, had a red day. But I moved from that. I understood what I did. I took responsibility for what I did, regardless of what happened. And I moved on to yesterday. And we turned it around yesterday. So we're going to continue to try to turn things around today. Finish the week out strong. Finish the month strong. And be ready to go into May. So just remember, take responsibility for everything that you do in this. Because successful people, they don't make excuses, they make up. And remember, you're not a victim. Don't be a victim in any of this. You're a victor. Alright, let me get this. Screen doesn't want to change. We had some issues with our scanners, our trade idea scanners. So what we've been having to do is just use a historical feature using the time frame. And so we're gonna do it 8:35, and I'll just leave it at that. We'll just use whatever date is here at 8:35. That's what I'm gonna use to build my watch list with. But whenever the scans are not working right, that's an easy way to pull up, you know, what was on the scan at 8:35. So at 8:35, this is what was on my scan. So we'll start running through these and see what we come up with. Okay, MLNX, take a look at it. Yeah, we've been trading in a channel here for the last month. So it's dropping on earnings. So we'll take a look at that one. Let's see, MLNX, ISLE. Yep, that one's been in kind of a channel too, trying to break out. ATR is kind of low. Yep. They had a value analysis. Don't know about this. It did trade about 3 or 4 times its average daily volume yesterday. I'd take a peek at it. I'm curious to see what it looks like. We'll take a peek at it. UAA, I know in UA that's on earnings, so I don't have to look that up. I already remember that. EXAS, same way. I know that's on earnings. I typed in the letter wrong. YNDX. Typed in the name wrong here. See, here we've got some ascending resistance here that it gapped over. So that was showing some strength. So why did it gap up on earnings? Alright, so we'll be taking a look at it. Alright, so we're gonna kind of restrict our watch list to what we have here, what we're gonna look at. Alright, so first one, MLNX. See, we're starting to pull down. They had earnings in the conference call yesterday. Let me see yeah, the price action the last couple of days really hasn't been that great. So we've got down to 43. Let's see what we can find close to 43. It's 42.35. Not sure this is going to be a good trader. I don't too much like what I see on the daily chart. It doesn't look like it's a big mover. What was the ATR on this? It's $1.23. That's it's deceptive. But we'll check it out and see. Yeah, I think that's about as low as it's gonna go. Alright, so MLNX, we do have a dollar window from here to here. There's some pretty decent windows where we're trading right now. So I'll have that one on watch. ISLE, I'm just not sure about. I'll come back to that. Well, let's take a look at it anyway. I don't no harm in doing that. Alright, so right now we have gap down. Yeah, this is traded in a tight range here. I don't know how much room we have in this. Some decent windows. Alright, yeah. for this size, being able to size up on this a little bit might give us some opportunity here. So we'll keep that around. EXAS. Let's take a look at that one. And we had a little bit, a very slight spike in volume yesterday. Yep, slight spike in volume yesterday as we sold off. But we've got up this morning. And we got over that ascending resistance we were looking at on the FinViz chart. So let's see. See what we got here. See what EXAS has in store for us. Yeah, it's a little crowded in here. A lot of stuff to chew through up here. Alright, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so everything. See, 32.85 is an all-time high. So what are we looking at here? Right now we're working in a good window here. But if we break too far to the downside or to the upside, we're going to run into a lot of traffic. On EXAS. So that's close. YNDX. See what we got on this. We are at 25.92. This doesn't look like a very good mover, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like a very good mover. Remove. In the wrong spot. Alright, I'll leave that. Yeah, those levels historically have stood up and they've been consistent. So pretty confident on these levels. And there are, pockets that we can work around. So, not a bad look on this. Let me see if I can find any more. Yep, 2690 would be the next one. Here we go. I missed that. At 26, right at the $half mark. All right. No, BNY, if it's not on my scans, I don't entertain trading it at the open. It's just kind of a rule that I have. If it's not on my scans, I'm not gonna mess with it. At least not for opening range. And really throughout the day, it's gonna kind of be that way. Nothing else, pretty much. UA, I gotta check it out because I think UA may have a potential to make a solid move as well. Yeah, Jack, there's something wrong with it. Yeah. If you reset it, they may have it back up working right now. Let me see. Yeah, they got it back. Hopefully it won't go crazy again. Alright, let's take a look at UAA. It's falling off a cliff right now. It's on a conference call, but it's going south pretty quick. And you see where it is right here. Not really a fan of UAA and how it trades. And you can see this doesn't really make big moves here. So I'm not really a fan of UAA. Or Under Armour. I think the company is in trouble, to be honest with you. Last time I looked at the fundamentals, they weren't. Come on, thing. They weren't in good health. is this thing moving slow this morning? I might have to say I'll pass on this one. But I keep it on watch anyway, just to see. So I have a nice group to look at, and then I can kind of break it down from there. Let's see, UAA. Um, not really interested in PayPal, Cal. Not for opening range trade. Maybe a secondary trade later on, but I've got enough that meet my criteria that I don't really have to go outside of it today. So I have traded PayPal in the past, and it, has been a decent trader. But as long as I have stocks that's within my parameter, um, I'm not gonna go looking outside. Now this one has like over a billion share float, which kind of restricts its movement sometimes. I haven't got there yet, but when I get my top three watches, I will post them. But I'm not there yet. Um, I got you. The difference between um, UA and UAA, UAA are it's like a Class A share, um, and usually the difference is uh, like the entitlements the shareholders have. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I know it's got something to do with the voting rights or ownership rights of the company. I don't run into it that often, but if I'm not mistaken, I think that's kind of what the designation means. Alright, so let me take a look at where these stocks are trading right now and give me a better idea of which ones I'm gonna watch. Well, MLNX is a 5 cent ticker, so that one's not gonna be, I can drop that. So YNDX, I don't like that one. Alright, YNDX, I think it's gonna make it. Let's take a look at ISLE. Yep, ISLE, EXAS. Not sure about EXAX. That one's not looking too promising. Let me see what's up with DPZ. Alright, DPZ is on earnings as well. Yep, I like DPZ. So for right now, I've got 4 that I'm going to be looking at. ISLE, YNDX. I think I'm going to pass on EXAS for my watch. It hasn't really been moving much. That's not to say it won't, but based on pre-market, I don't see much in it. And this might be one of those that just wakes up at the open. And you see it's been trading sideways all morning. And so I'm going to look at UAA or UA, both pretty much one and the same, but UAA I think has more, usually has more room to move. but I'll have both of them kind of on watch. So they're, as far as I'm concerned, they're kind of one and the same. So I'm watching ISLE, YNDX, UA, and DPZ. I think DPZ is going to be, will give us some good, may give us a good chance at a decent move here. Because we are right now at 186.50. Come on, thing. No, that's not right. There we go. Alright, so I think we've got some good room to move here. We've had a good gap up. I think we've got a chance to move up, or if we pull back, we got a big window for it to pull back in. So there's so much moving that you just kind of have to pick what you want and go with that, because there's a lot of them out there that's actually moving. Hey Melvin, Leo is still at school with my daughter. You know, that's her companion. So we'll pick him up next week and he'll be home for the summer. You know, maybe he can bring some more big winners our way. All right, guys. So what I'm watching, ISLE, YNDX, the UAA combo, and DPZ. So that'll kind of get broken down, and I'll probably focus in on one, lock in on one, going into the open. But that's what I'm going to be watching. But like I said, there are a lot of good, a lot of good stocks that you can look at today. I mean, a lot of them. And so you don't really need to be relegated to what I'm watching, but you know, there's going to be so many out there that can give some solid moves that you really just have to be in the right one. And it all boils down to how your preparation and you know, the stocks that you like to trade. But there are a lot of stocks out here this morning that can give some solid moves for our opening range. And it's funny how last week this time we only had 2 or 3 on here, and now the scan is practically full. Well, Dustin, it can give you an opening range breakout. It can start going back up. You know, it moved down pretty good due to the conference call, but you don't know how this thing is going to end up. So I believe it can give, it can be in play. It can give an explosive move at the opening range. So that's why it's on my watch. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me this morning. It took a little longer to go through this list, but there was a lot out there. So I just have to trust what I have and hold on. Because if we miss the opening range, there should be several secondary moves that you can choose from that can still make your day. So just be patient. If you miss it, just be patient and stay focused, stay locked in, stay engaged, and catch that secondary one. All right, but guys, remember, trade smart. Trade for developing that skill. Because if you do that, at the end of the day, you're going to be counting some bills. So just keep that focus. Oh yeah, I'll send out a tweet later on, but I won't be able to do the morning show tomorrow morning. I've got a lab appointment at 8:45. So won't be able to do the morning show tomorrow. I won't have a morning watch list, so I probably won't trade the open. Most likely I'll be back by 9:15, 9:30, but I'll just wait and catch secondary moves off my scanner. So for those of you who are here for the morning show, I won't have one tomorrow, but I will have a weekend update video to tell you whether we made the 5K goal or not for the month of April. And we'll be back at it bright and early on Monday morning. So you guys take care, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.